All right, Print Hustlers, welcome back. We are fresh back from Chicago, from Print Hustlers Conf. Awesome time spending together, hosted by the Made Lab team. And they've always just done an awesome job being able to put that thing on. No easy task. We've got Miles T-shirts today here from Springfield, Illinois. He's joining us, sharing about his growth, his kind of settling in post-COVID, and what he's doing now to be a better business owner in 2026 and how he's thinking about it. So excited about this. But our incredible sponsors help us put this show on every single week, including EasyWay. Now, EasyWay is giving away $250 every single month in product credit. If you go to easyway.com/giveaway, put in your info, boom, you're entered in. But, set a reminder for the first of the month. Put this in every single month so you can have a better chance of winning. EasyWay is making reclaiming screens a whole lot easier with their systems, chemicals, and equipment. So check it out, easyway.com/giveaway.
All right, Bruce. If you were at Print Hustlers, you probably wished Multicraft_Daddy a happy birthday. If you weren't and you need ink supplies or a daddy, Multicraft screen printing and digital supplies for over 50 years has been providing you with top brands at competitive prices. You can mention the Printavo pod and receive an extra 10% off your first order, or you can DM Multicraft_Daddy. He gives away a free case of PMI tape for every episode. He also makes some of the best, worst, most amazing content. So we appreciate you, Dave, Multicraft, and Multicraft Daddy. Thanks so much.
GraphX, or so many Print Hustlers shops at the conference were using GraphX, and they are a company that's been around for 40 years, more than 40 years actually, helping shops with steps, mockups, creative art, order management, digitizing, some customer service, and back office admin. If you use the code PrintavoPod24, that gets you 50% off your first order, so you can give them a whirl. They plug and play with Printavo and other shop management software, so you can be able to give them a try. They are industry-leading outsourcing options for your shop and are truly a part of your team.
All right, Bruce. Last but not least, we have Stalls. Are you ready to take your custom apparel to the next level? Stalls is the leader in heat printing solutions. Whether you're a small business just starting out or an established brand that is scaling, Stalls makes the hustle easy. They're here so you can simply heat, press, and profit. You can get the equipment, transfers, and support your business needs, and start smart and stay ahead. You can visit stalls.com and save 20% off your next DTF transfer order using code Hustler20. We have been using them quite a bit for different patches, different application, chenille, PVC patches, and they've come out with some pretty cool 3D printing patch thing. Check them out, stalls.com. We appreciate you so much, Stalls. Thanks.
All right, let's jump on in. I don't know why, I'm not sure what they're doing, but when they change a flight and then put you on hold for 20 minutes, are they taking another call?
Yeah, probably. You could just put them on hold and do the podcast, go back.
It's what are they typing in for 5 minutes straight?
Bruce, were you on the phone with Frontier or Spirit this time?
I've heard Frontier as a first class option now, actually.
How's your Southwest? You can pick your own seats going for you.
Ooh.
Well, that starts Jan 1. That starts Jan 1. If they could just upgrade the Wi-Fi, I would really sit anywhere. With the United doing the Starlink, I've heard that's incredible. If Southwest could do that, no more complaints from me. I don't really care as much about the seat. It's just that. Anyway, Miles, what's your airline?
Man, Southwest has been typically the one, but I've bounced around. We fly out of Springfield to Florida, and Frontier is the option. So we've definitely done some Frontier.
Isn't Allegiant out of there too?
Loyalist.
Think so. Well, it's one of those things too. They're like, oh, I'll get this credit card. You'll save $500 on your first plane ticket. So, you got a family and you do it and you're like, yeah, I'll just use this on the side. And next thing you know, you're sucked in,
I will say Southwest has that companion card that everyone uses. And so I think Bruce, if you spend a certain amount, you get free companion pass for a year.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's why that's a huge reason we still use it. And the easier airports, the smaller airports are a lot easier to go in and out of. But if you spend 120 or 30,000 points or generate that on a credit card, then you get companion pass for that year plus the following year. So I just one click add my wife to any flight that I'm on.
Easy.
Bruce loves sitting in middle seats. He actually just takes a lot of pride in sitting in middle seats, and he's just a great middle seat guy.
Yeah.
He's nice and lean and thin. There you go.
Yeah.
That's my LinkedIn caption, middle seat guy.
You could just start the anti-blog of like how to be the best middle seat guy. There's nothing wrong with him. Everyone likes him. You want to be a good middle seat guy.
Dude, as long as I just have a little bit of elbow room to work on my laptop, just a little bit. What's tough is when the aisle person's like really trying to grab the armrest, which we could share it. Like you could be in front, I could be behind.
Yeah, front and back.
Little elbow spoon right there, and then
Miles, Printavo customer number
probably like 12 or something.
Pretty low.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. Miles t-shirts. One of the first few. I remember seeing that, and I remember seeing Justin Barrelmaker, and I'm like, wow, cool. 2 Illinois shops. That's awesome. Obviously, never heard of him before, really, but.
And I don't remember. So my friend Brandon was the one that told me about it. He doesn't even own a shop, but I think he was on a lot of the t-shirt websites at the time, like MTs and like maybe you were advertising on that, but he was the one that actually told me about it, and I needed something, and I was like, oh yeah, this looks great. And I think I probably shouldn't say this, but I think it was like $24.99 a month when it started. T-shirt
forums was the spot. I mean, that was the OG Facebook groups. That's where we all hung out, posted. It was nice and calm. It wasn't as real time as it was now. You had a little signature, and yeah, I remember I was just trying to get feedback. I was like, hey, I'm working on this thing. Would love to get feedback from people that want to use it. And I launched it. Nobody signs up. So, and I think it was $29, and I was like, oh man, is it the price or something? So dropped the price down to $0 for a few months, still working on different features or whatever. And I remember I got 2 emails that said, well, if it's $0, what does that, like, are you going to be around for a while? Cause this is an important move for us. And I was like, well, maybe we do ads or something like that. He's like, yeah, I want it to be secure. So then I was like, geez, all right, fine. $30 back or $24 or whatever. And then maybe you and a few others had signed up there. So pretty wild.
Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely changed everything for us, because before it was just me doing everything. And at the time, I think I maybe had 2 employees. So if I wasn't there and somebody came in, they had no idea what to do. They're like, you're going to have to wait for Miles to get back, because I can't take any payments. I can't do anything. So we were pretty punk rock back then.
We, when I went into business with my business partners, they were using carbon copy, like the three ply or whatever. And they would put their cards in, they had time card slots. And so they had like 2 walls of them, like Monday through Friday, and they would put them in there. And that was shop management.
Did they just have like file cabinets full of old invoices?
Yeah, like they would look like massive stacks, and they would just like sit there and go through them, and that's how they would collect bills. And
I don't remember what shop it was, Bruce, but there was a shop you guys signed up, and they wanted to talk to another shop, and you had them talk to me. And the guy told me that they put out like 3 roll-off dumpsters of paperwork that they got rid of when they moved to Printavo.
Whoa.
Like they literally had stuff for 30 or 40 years, and they were just like, we're just emptying they kept everything. Everything was paper.
Transparency is probably two, or just
think about transparencies. Film.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Ugh.
And we only probably did it for, I don't know, 8-9 years with films and stuff. And then before we went to direct to screen. Yeah, so much better.
So, Miles, you are in Springfield, Illinois. We're sort of like, I don't know, 100 miles apart, I guess?
Yeah,
something like that.
Cousins.
And so, like, you signed up for Printavo in probably, 2016, something about that. But how long have you been in business?
I started printing shirts in 99, just really as a hobby in high school. And then for my band, and then my friend had a skate shop. So, really just out of necessity that's how everybody starts. Oh, I can do that, But saw it in a movie, the movie Rad. Anybody knows the BMX movie Rad? You guys are probably too young for it, but you should go watch it. It's pretty bad, but it's good at the same time. Great soundtrack. But they print shirts in the video or in the movie for like 2 seconds, and they really just had a stencil, and they were using a paint roller and rolling it over the stencil just to say Rad, to raise money for him to race in this big race. And that's what inspired me to learn how to print.
That's crazy. Bruce would have been 11 years old in 1999. So he was working on Printavo before the internet, like .com, that kind of thing. Yeah. In keyboard typing class. And it just took him 17 years. So you kind of knew he was going to come around eventually.
I was just waiting.
Was it in your house? Where'd you set it up?
Yeah, started in mom's garage, and then luckily my friend that had the skate shop had space in the back. So we would actually, one of my first employees worked at the skate shop, and he had actually worked at a print shop before, so he already knew how to screen print. So between him and I, we printed shirts. So when the skate shop wasn't busy, he was in printing, and I would pay him by the garment. I think I would pay him like $1 a shirt that he would print. So we felt like we were just millionaires, because I think, we were making $10 an hour back then, which minimum wage was probably $5 at the time. And then, could make another $20-$30 an hour printing shirts. So,
dude, that is insane. That is almost exact same story that we had. It was a friend's skate shop. It was in Champaign though. He had the equipment. He had like the Riley Hopkins and Little Buddy and all the wash up booth and everything. He sold us that. We rented the back of his skate shop, but we hired him, and we even paid him a percentage of the job like that too. Cause we were like, I can't pay hourly. I don't know if we're going to bring in work or not. And we ended up bringing in a lot of work, and he did really well and did okay. But yeah, that is so funny. And then you got these beautiful skate decks behind you.
Yeah, these are definitely some that I collected, over the years. And then, I continue to collect. So a little bit.
Miles, if you were to go through the graph, I mean, you've been doing this for almost 25 years, 26 years. Where did the business get like legit? Like, when do you think you crossed? If you started in 1999, like when did you cross your $500,000 mark, $1 million mark? Like, when did this turn into a real thing?
Yeah. So I didn't really start keeping real records until 2009. So, I mean, a lot of it was just like the band, everything was cash. It was a hobby. I probably wasn't doing a ton, but yeah, in 2009, just doubled, probably 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Like 5, 6, 7 years in a row until we hit, that, over $1 million. And then once you get to that, it's kind of hard to double from, 1 to 2 in a year when you're still operating the way you were when you were just doing, maybe $40,000 a year. So yeah, it was quick. It seemed really quick at the time, but looking back, it's like, oh man, that took forever.
And do you think, could you maybe also talk about where your peak was and like the most amount of employees you've ever had versus what your footprint looks like today? I have no idea. So I'm just asking this out of the blue because it's interesting. Like, we're talking to Brett at Printed Threads and like kind of his arc and different things, but like, could you maybe talk a little bit about that, of when you thought you were the biggest versus where you're at now or where you want to be? I don't know.
We bought our first building in 2011, and then we bought our second building in 2017, but we didn't actually move in, I think, till 2019 or 2020. I think we definitely peaked during COVID. We did a ton of outdoor sports stuff. Disc golf is kind of our niche. Disc golf took off like crazy. We had 20-ish employees, a few part-timers, and we've definitely seen that peak, and we're kind of seeing where everything's going to regulate now, where everything's going to correct itself and try to build back up. But now we're back down to about 15 employees, and it feels good. Like, I'm not always looking at that number of the top sales. It's more about, okay, are we profitable?
Did you have that more focus on being profitable now that the sizes come down a bit or the overheads come down a bit, or is that?
Yeah, well, even that year, even that the like our biggest year was probably 23. And then the next year we fell a little bit, but our profitability, the actual amount of money that we profited, was significantly higher. So that was, I think we were more efficient. We bought a lot of new equipment during the pandemic. So getting autos that were not breaking down or that were much quicker, helped. Obviously adding auto reclaim, adding, eco rinse, ecotex, everything, we really just went all out.
So it's all about equipment automation, you think, was a big driver of that? Was that like the majority driver of that?
I think that, but also like everybody that had been here for a while, they had been here through the move, from the old shop to the new shop, going from a Javelin with like V squeegees to going to, to a 97 Gauntlet to then go into a, Cobra. Like those are some significant changes for printers.
Javelin. Haven't heard
Yeah.
that one in a while.
I had 3 Javelins at one point.
3 whole javelins.
I
That's
had 3 whole Javelins. I thought I was killing it at the time. I mean, we were, because I paid hardly anything for them. So it helped us make the money to buy the equipment. I mean, I don't think I ever bought a new piece of equipment until we moved into our new building in 2020. Like, always bought used, always traded up.
That's so funny. And it's like, those are the worst stories. I just bought 2 new DTF machines last week from Lawson Workhorse, Tyler Dummett. And my business partner, I was like, hey, Jed, we're going to buy from Lawson. He's like, hey, we started out on Lawson Troopers. They're in St. Louis. We use them our entire thing, like good people, good family. I was just like, that's what got you there.
Steven, and now I have to ask, because people are going to be asking, what did you buy?
They are in transit right now. We bought the Prestige XL4. We got 2 of them coming. So
are these replacing old units or new?
Yeah, we have rebuilt ours so many times. And our CFO was like, you realize you haven't bought one in 2 years? And I'm like, okay. Kyle Robinson and I were chatting on in the last podcast, and we are going back and we're in Fabric, and he was talking about like he's making the moves, and like got me excited. Print Hustlers was coming out, and we've had 2 machines down, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So we spend so much when we outsource. Yeah. But Miles, could you talk about your business sweet spot? Do you think you've achieved a business sweet spot, like this flow state, like where you're making good money, you're happy about where things are at? Do you think you've gotten there?
I want to say yes, but it's like you don't know until you've either gone worse or gotten better. So I think that's the tough thing. But I think our sweet spot is going to be once all this equipment's paid off, because we're making money, but a lot of it is going to pay for equipment, and we're hitting that 5-year mark for a lot of this equipment here pretty soon. And then I feel like I'll really know what we're doing. We've invested so much year after year after year, buying buildings, buying equipment. And then obviously then we'll just be able to put more money into our people. And I think that's what's really going to hopefully help take it off. But yes, we're not doing much outbound sales. Mm-hmm. So I feel like sweet spot as far as like being content. Yes. But obviously I always want more.
Bruce, you talk about peak performance. Maybe we could blend business sweet spot and peak performance. What do you think are like the staples of your sweet spot? Bruce, you talked about this a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, in Fabric, we just mentioned a lot about, I think, having had some space and a little bit of time to think about when I was actively running Printavo, that the sweet spot was, can I generate enough income for myself as an owner to take home that more than covers my personal expenses, so that, you're not thinking about, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? It's just, yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. So usually maybe that's like 2x or 50% to 2x more your annual expenses. And then can you also be choosy with your time? As in like, yeah, if you need to spend more time or want to spend more time, the business is awesome. If you want to leave for a week, awesome. I mean, I'm not sure it gets much better than that. Like, if you've got the team and you can be able to have the flexibility there financially and time wise, that's golden. Like, do you feel, it sounds like you're fairly close on some of those, right? Especially if you get the equipment paid off.
Yeah, no, I think we'll feel very, very comfortable at that point. But then you think, what's the next thing that I need to buy? We don't have DTF, which I'm going to try to stay out of as long as I possibly can. Thanks to Steven for sharing all his horror stories. And then like, I don't know if Steven's the best salesperson or the worst salesperson for the DTF industry.
I'm an honest salesperson.
The most honest.
Yes. But here's the thing. Plenty of people have DTFs. I mean, in our town, there's probably 7 shops that have DTFs that are printing that I can get stuff, same day within a couple hours. So why do I need to go spend the money and have the headache? But yeah, I think I think the other thing that I've realized over the years is when I priced a lot of things, I didn't have kids. I didn't have a family or a wife. There were so many things I didn't have, or I didn't have salespeople. So going back on pricing, that's the thing that I think people undersell themselves when they start, because they don't have the overhead. And
you raised, how did you raise your prices then?
Well, that's been a slow slow turn for the price raising. But here's the thing, we're so much more efficient. I mean, I look at prices. I try not to do pricing anymore because I will underprice too much, because I'm still thinking, shirts are 99 cents and we can print it for $1. So if we sell it for $5, we're good, but yeah, I mean, we can print a shirt for that price still and still be profitable, because we're printing it in a fraction of the time that it used to take when, I was burning screens and film and all that stuff, so.
So basically, the way the raise prices is you don't quote the job.
Yeah, I don't quote the job, but I think, the conversation always happens is, oh, when do I hire a sales guy? And I've never done it. That's always just been me. And it's because I don't price things to, oh, you're going to hire a sales guy. Oh, just have him charge it 10%. Well, I don't know that works, that's always the secret that I would love to know, how people really do it and have good salespeople and really drive the machine.
Well, I think part of it is taking out your emotions from it. When I would ask my business partner, Jed, and there were only a couple of us, like, Jed, what would you price this at? And he's like, well, how many times can we mess it up? He's like, you can mess up a shirt 4 times and still make money. And so he'd be like, just like you said, all right, can we get $8 for it? Shirt costs us $2, make $6 a pop. Cool, let's do it. And that doesn't work. But the one thing I have, so I've gotten out of pricing because I price too low emotionally. I'm like, I want to get the job. Let's figure out how to do it. Is we've got a couple sales managers and they're just like, this is our price. Our price is our price. And if they're closing at, 30% clip and their average order value is the same, maybe it's just in my head. I think we worry in our imagination more than we do the reality, right? Like, I think we're the problem.
Absolutely. We got to get out of our own way.
Yeah.
Do you then try to look at your prices periodically or annually, like you said, as your costs have changed and, new building, new equipment, more people, kid's wife now or whatever?
Yeah. I think the other thing too that we've recently done is there's certain things that take more time that you're just like, I don't want to make a whole nother price list just for that. Sleeves, for instance. Okay, we're just adding another print location. Yeah, but you got to put the sleeve boards on. You got, it's a little more time, especially if you're loading hoodies, unloading hoodies. You can't go as fast. So why aren't you charging more? And we finally have made that price change on our price list to have that be more costly to our customers to add the sleeve prints. And before we never did that.
I feel like in this day and age, people pay for convenience and speed and great customer service. And if that's good, they don't care what it costs. I don't know. I think at least in our type of customer, like we say, if you can just answer in 5 minutes and call them and get them a quote super fast and make the experience pleasant, your price doesn't really matter as much. But Miles, how do you look at profit? Do you look at like, as a seasoned business owner now, what are the numbers that you look at regularly? How much controls do you have? Do you feel just like blessed that things are good? Like, yeah. What are your knobs?
I feel blessed that things have been good. Obviously, this year has not been great. Definitely been lower in sales, and we've had to make some cuts to accommodate for that. But I don't love looking at numbers daily. I know I should after being at the Print Hustlers and hearing some of the stories that people are watching and making calls quicker. I think that's something that I probably should do as a business owner to be, more efficient. But I'm really just looking at those monthly numbers. I get my monthly report. I know that's what they say. Oh, don't wait a month to look at it. Look at it sooner. So I think that's the one thing that I need to change for the future.
What's in your monthly numbers that you see?
Oh my gosh, it is. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's really the breakdown, and we just see what our cost of goods are, and really everything laid out, and what our actual profit is. And sometimes that's a negative number, and that's a really hard pill to swallow. So yeah, but then the other months that are really good, then you're like, okay, great, but we just need to constantly be above.
In a dream scenario, what do you think the numbers are that you'd want to see? In what time frame? Is it monthly or weekly or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I think probably weekly would be enough for me. I mean, people that do it daily, that's awesome. I know one of the people I met at Print Hustlers had an automation that was showing them like daily, and I was like, whoa, I think my anxiety, I'm not like an anxious person, but I do not want to look at that every day. But she's like, oh yeah, this got done, today. So I feel good, on Monday, on the last day of Print Hustlers. So yeah.
But weekly, what do you think you'd want to see weekly?
I think just the gross profit is obviously great to see, and then what are we actually netting after that? So that's I think really what it comes down to.
Do you kind of know in the back, like, are you a napkin math guy to be like, okay, my shop costs me this a month to run. This is how much I have to pay in rent. Like, how do you?
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely have those numbers. I definitely know total sales what we need to do, to break even, and what we need to do to be profitable. So we are always above that, but the months that are really good help make up for those months that maybe you're skimping a little bit.
Yeah. In my business, and this is like my business partner is like, any month that starts with a J is going to suck for us. So you better crush it in all the other ones. January, June, July are just
Dude,
awful.
Jed has the best sayings. He just says banger sayings.
He's got bangers, but if he went on this podcast, maybe we got to get him on here, Bruce. It would be a 3-hour episode. It would be a Joe Rogan.
We're lucky. Like Januaries have been some of our record breaking months because of disc golf, and now that the season is starting earlier, it used to not start till March. Now it's starting in February. Record months into January, just because everybody is preparing for the season. So yeah, I know a lot of people take January off and they're pretty slow and relaxed, but literally some of our biggest sales have been in January.
And Miles, the disc golf niche that you've built for yourself is a national presence, or is it local? Or because this is really interesting. Like Tyler Carroll's crazy into mountain biking, and he's got national mountain bike reach. Tell us about this disc golf thing for a sec, because this is interesting.
Yeah, international. So I mean, we do a ton of distribution all over the world. I mean, we're shipping stuff to Europe, Australia, obviously Africa, all over the place. So I started it in 2000. So really it started out as a brand. Oh, I'm going to start a brand. Everybody wants to do that. It's really hard to sell your own shirts. I really like just making shirts for other people. So really we've kind of become the disc golf printers, like we print disc golf is our tagline, and we're taking care of a lot of the manufacturers that make this. We're taking care of clubs. We're taking care of events, the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the PDGA. So I really started with our club getting some shirts.
ParagonDiscGolf.com.
Yeah. I really got started at our club, got some shirts made, and they were pretty bad. Right when polyester was kind of getting popular again, and a lot of people didn't know how to print on it. A lot of dye migration, a lot of poorly made shirts. So we navigated that really quickly and found really good pricing, and just did a ton of stuff for a lot of people, and the clubs have to get new stuff every year. So that's really been our other thing too. We make bag tags every year, and there's about 200 to 300 clubs that we work with every year across the country. And some of them might be 20, some of the bigger clubs are 500 or 600. So there's a lot of good opportunities there. And obviously we sponsor a lot of the big events, world championships, the pro tour, amateur tours. So we're putting the money back in the sport. So people, it's a give and take.
It's super interesting. Miles, you reviewed 240 shirts on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. I'm going for 365. So I'm at 260 right now.
I missed that.
Give us what started this? Where did it come from? Why are you doing it? Tell us.
I feel like every business owner is in their head at the beginning of the year saying, oh, I'm going to do more social media. We all want to do it, right? Some of us do it really well. Some of us do it terrible. I think my thought was, if it's not going to be perfect, I'm not going to do it. Or I don't know what I'm going to do. What can I do consistently? So this was a challenge to myself to look at products that I already need to know about, number one. And I thought it would be something that other people could get some knowledge from, share some information. I know I've gotten a lot of information from other people that make YouTube videos, so I wanted to be able to give back. And then I'm hoping in the future, all these things will be searchable and help people out, make good decisions on their t-shirt buying, and especially help some of these brands. Like, why are they not giving us certain measurements? Why are they not giving us certain information? So it's really a full circle of things that I want to accomplish, challenging myself, obviously putting myself out there for my business to promote, and then helping the industry, helping other people in the industry.
This is a commitment.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Well, and yeah, it's a commitment, especially since Brandon, who edits all the videos, he travels a lot with the band. So a lot of times he's on the road and I'm Google driving him stuff. I'm like, hey, can you get this edited and send it back? And then I post it. So we've gotten a little bit behind in this last half of the year, but I think we'll finish strong. We're running out of shirts, but a lot of new shirts are coming out, so I'm hoping we can get to that 365 number.
I commend you because this is very like Gary Vee-esque. Just turn the camera on and start working. Like consistency. Most people put in a marketing plan and think that it's a 1 week thing. Like how have you started to see the fruits of this yet? Or are you still in just content mode?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously a lot of the videos are not getting millions of views or thousands of views, but I think the most interesting thing to me is there's certain videos that are getting a ton of views. And I'm not doing any clickbait. I'm not doing anything fancy, literally just 1 minute videos, making it super quick and easy to digest. But there's a ton of videos that are getting a lot of views more than the rest. And it's all the heavyweight shirts. So that's what's been really interesting to me, that all these people are actually out searching these heavyweight shirts. And it's not just Bella Canvas, it's behind the scenes apparel. It's AS Color, some of the US Standard Apparel, some of these other like brands that most people haven't heard of, I think that's been a really cool thing to just be able to share that and see what videos people are searching. Because I'm not just popping up in feeds because I'm a popular YouTuber by any means.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting based on like what people are actually searching for. It's kind of cool data.
Yeah. Well, so I had a comment on one and I just clicked on the video. I was like, oh, there's like 500 views on this. Most of my videos maybe have like 30 or 50. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So it was interesting to see. And a lot of it was all around the same time. So I don't know enough about YouTube to know exactly where it all came from, but a bunch of people were searching, and even I reviewed the Gildan 3000 at the beginning of the year, I think before Long Beach, before they really announced it. At the time, they only had 14 colors. And I was like, yeah, they're going to make more colors in this. This is the right price point. It's a good shirt. So now I think they have 47 colors. So that's kind of a cool thing too, to be able to look back and see how the shirts have changed, the styles, if they've added colors, added sizes, because they're not really advertising those things. They're not saying, oh, we added 27 new colors this week. They just put it on SNS and you just find it.
Miles, I wonder, have you thought to take this to like TikTok and like other mediums, or is it just YouTube?
Oh man, I don't know anything about TikTok. I need somebody under the age of 30 to help me out with that, probably.
Crazy that most people are searching for things now on TikTok. And I found myself like looking up hotel reviews on there, and I was like, okay.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I guess I have all the content. I could potentially start posting on there, but I don't even know where to start. That's the next Print Hustlers. I need a TikTok person.
You need Matt Marcotte to take this for a day or so and just have a field day of like, I wonder, can we think out loud of what you could do with this or no?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my big goal is that at the end, because we're also building a spreadsheet of all the variables of these shirts, price from what it is for the small through XL, and then how much of a jump does it go from 2X, 3X, 4X, as well as their size chart. What's the difference of the actual measurement of the shirt versus what their size chart says? So is it the same, or is it, bigger or smaller? Is it off a lot? And then I've recorded some videos. We haven't edited them yet. They're like a much longer version of wash tests, washing multiple shirts of the same material, same weights, and seeing what ones actually shrink and how they look and feel after the fact.
You are playing right now. This is sick. Okay, let's play a little. We were at Second City doing improv. So Bruce, if you can take this idea for 1 minute. Bruce was on stage dancing. Interesting videos we saw. Bruce, if you had 1 minute, what would you do with this crazy amount of content that Miles has created?
I think that some of the data of it's kind of interesting, like how well received are these garments, and being able to sell that back to potentially the manufacturers, right? Because especially if they're selling them through distributors, they probably don't get a ton of feedback through the whole channel. So what are people saying? What are people searching? And then I kind of like the comedy of the your measurements versus the size chart. Like I just pictured Amari, where it's like, when it comes to the Gildan 3000, the size chart is a lie.
Yeah, that would be fun to really like make it more of like a show like that at some point.
But it seems really helpful. What do you think, Steven?
I think you have a viable company right here. because everyone needs this information. This is the most valuable information, and the person disciplined enough to do this is you, and no one else is going to do it. So you have some defensibility. If I could have an unlimited budget, I would build a custom GPT, load all of this data on it, and call it like t-shirt review. Just search this to know exactly everything you need to know about shirts. So it'd be like custom GPT that everyone could use. I would hire a VA in the Philippines to start chopping and cutting these up to get them all over TikTok. Try to create an email subscriber list of all the shops in the industry so you could get your t-shirt lowdown review every Friday in a newsletter. And I would go on Replit and vibe code a site where you could go on there, know all the different categories that you reviewed, kind of like Dave Portnoy's pizza reviews, right? Like a Yelp. And then where to buy, and then where's cheapest, but maybe not where's cheapest because you get sued from other companies. Don't want to do that, right? And then, then these companies start sponsoring you, and you just up the game and be like, okay, I'm on the sewing factory in Honduras with Gildan. We're gonna make sure this size chart is live.
No, I like, and yeah, I love all those things. So I will start working. Thank you.
Yeah,
I just need that
Miles
little
doesn't
push.
have enough to do, but it's actually a great idea.
Oh, hey, there's 24 usable hours in the day.
I mean, you said you already diversified a bit on the revenue side with the disc golf side, which, I'm going backwards a little bit, but
it's a great side. And then obviously the cool thing about disc golf is there's so many different people in disc golf. A lot of these guys are coaches for maybe a high school team. So next thing you know, they ordered for their event, but they're like, dude, can you do shirts for my track team or my cross country team or for my school or for my local community center? So we literally have customers all over the country that we're constantly shipping to. I mean, we have a late night pickup from UPS so we can ship as much as possible every day, which is really nice.
What do you think this year you've struggled with as an owner?
Sales. I think sales really. But I think I'm trying to build myself up with the YouTube, being more confident. Obviously, if you look at the first videos that I did versus now, I definitely have a little more confidence. I'm getting better, trying to do things, to make it, I don't know, more fun. Usually I say stuff at the end that's kind of silly, but a lot of people don't finish the whole 1 minute video. People have very short attention spans. So I'm trying to figure out how do I make sure I say something at the beginning to hook them. But I don't want to think like that. I just want to just put it out there. I don't want to think how these YouTubers have to think to get the long views, because I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not trying to cash in on YouTube money. Like, not happening.
When you say sales was a struggle as well, now what? Or what's your reaction? How are you thinking about it? What are you doing? What does it look like inside the front office?
I think the thing we struggled, we had a little bit of turnover recently, but one of our guys that travels a lot, that kind of takes one person out of the office. And as much as I love that, it does put a little bit of pressure on everybody else. So I think having someone here full time with no interruptions is really our next goal.
Are you in VA world, Miles, or is everyone stateside?
Everybody's here. One of the people that just moved, they are going to work remote for a little while until they get something. But I've always been scared of that. I hear you talk about it a lot, and I've wanted to look into it. And I think maybe that time is coming soon.
Yeah. Where do you start, Steven?
We started with our art department for Graphic Source, and then we got more comfortable by using a support shepherd. I think it's called Somewhere Anywhere now. I forget the name of it. Hired our first, and it was very for consistent tasks that can be done over and over and over again, and then slowly giving them more and more. And now the Philippines are part of our family. They're some of my favorite people, but it was not like a just one click overnight. It was just one at a time, and getting comfortable. Like, they need to be closely managed, monitor all that stuff.
But where would you suggest if Miles all right, well, can I try it? Where's the what type of role you think is it?
I think administrative, non-customer facing is the best way to start. So what are tasks that can be done behind a computer that are repetitive in nature, that are easily and highly repeatable? So it's clipping these videos and repropagating them for TikTok would be a perfect one, right? You could probably hire a VA for $500 a month for 15 hours a week to just do that. And that's all they do all day, every day. or, like Canva templates, or I don't know if you build a lot of online stores, Miles, or not, but a VA that's just like build the stores, build the graphics for them. And every time the status changes in Printavo, build the store. And it's just like this repetitive cycle of stuff. And then it's like, ooh, what else can you do? So,
How does the kickoff work with that? Like, is it just like a new hire type where you have to meet with them first, week a bunch and then it's just weekly, or what does it look like?
Yeah. So, I highly suggest hiring through an agency when you're just getting started. You can go and hire them. Yeah, you can hire them rogue if you want. Just know that, like, if you're not good at it, it might not yield the best results. But you really focus on like their SOPs, their training documents, everything they need to know. And then you try to put in place like structure for them. And you meet with them like we say like the first week you meet with them every day. And then the next week you meet with them 3 times a week. And then the third week you meet with them twice a week. But like eventually you just start meeting with them once a week. But yeah, it's definitely you have to ramp them up and do a lot of hand holding. But now like our CFO, who's a CPA, he's got 2 almost like accounting degrees of people that work with him that are QuickBooks experts, or, they understand sales tax and things like that. So like they're still highly qualified and trained individuals. It's not like they're lesser than because they're in another country, So yeah, does that make sense? Miles, I want to ask a couple questions. We had this breakfast of fabric on Print Hustlers. We were asking a bunch of questions. We had it on these cards, and I just like to like rapid fire if that's okay. Bruce, is that cool with you?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So Miles, the part of your role that still brings you joy after 26 years of printing shirts.
Sales. I love doing sales, like talking to people, coming up with ideas. I think problem solving is really one of the things that I enjoy.
Sweet. A piece of advice that you still think about.
I don't know if this is advice, but charge what it's worth, not what you can get.
Banger. A work habit that you are trying to change.
Staying focused and not working at 2 a.m.
All right.
Love that.
I just like it when there's nobody around. I just like it when it's quiet. So.
Early morning and late at night.
As an owner, what don't you want to spend time doing in 2026?
I don't want to spend time doing anything with payroll. Like I want somebody else to just make sure it's right and perfect and everything. I don't want to have to deal with it.
Cool. Thanks. Bruce, you got anything else?
I feel like you've got your like an incredible plan already now for 2026. It's like, all right, got these couple of roles to be able to hire outsource, help on the payroll stuff, or you said the sales backup.
And I don't really deal with it that much, but occasionally stuff, happens and I'm like, why am I dealing with this? I don't want it. Yeah. I mean, you really have to stop and take care of the problem, and it takes long. It always takes longer than you think.
I agree. And then I realized I can't spend the time following up or, get bogged down or whatever and end up not. Love it. Well, thanks, Miles. I appreciate being able to share all this. If you can, last thing is if you can give a tip, you were doubling quite a bit, like from 2009 up until roughly, 2 million in sales. What do you think were the top, few things that helped be able to drive that?
I mean, I think one of the very first things was Printavo, because before that, I had no way to track anything. And granted, back then we didn't have a way. But, further into that was just buying an auto. For the longest time, we were printing 1,000 shirt orders manually, which was terrible. I think we had 3 manuals and everybody just cranking out on a job, and getting that auto, it is a scary thing. But now with the internet and with all the videos out there and with a lot of the companies just putting more and more support behind them, getting those autos as soon as you can possibly afford it, even if it's a used one. And then the last one, obviously the direct to screen. I mean, getting rid of the films, making things more repeatable, less mistakes. That was a huge thing for us. I mean, digging through films and just so many films and trying to go back and find old stuff. You didn't want to reprint it to waste the film. The time that it took to find it was longer than it would take to just reprint it. So balancing all those things out, now it's the laser. It's like, is the laser the next thing that we do equipment wise? I don't know.
What about non-production related during that time?
Oh man. I mean, I have been so lucky to just have so many great people. I mean, literally my first two employees still work for me now. So that's, I mean, just so many good people. So I haven't struggled with that. I know that is a struggle for a lot of shops trying to find good people. But I think the biggest thing that we struggle with is just as we get more people, being able to make sure everybody feels seen and heard consistently. You know, we try to meet with them, but you know, sometimes if that goes too long, that, you know, that's bad, and that can really affect productivity in the shop and the vibe.
Yeah, I feel that. One bad apple. It's crazy how much can like really sour the.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Jed's got a good saying for this, Steven.
He'll figure something out.
A double bad apple can sour the. Yeah, cool. That's awesome, Miles. Thank you so much for sharing. This is Miles Parko from Miles T-Shirts, Springfield, Illinois.
Check him out on YouTube.
Social media as well.
Yeah, go give me a follow, a subscribe on YouTube. Got to get to 500 subscribers. So
let's go.
I think we're about halfway there.
MilesT-shirts.com. You could find it on there. He's almost there. 250.
Yeah, halfway. I need a commercial like you guys do for Daddy. What am I thinking of?
Multicraft
Daddy.
Multicraft
Daddy. He knows it.
Miles T-Shirts, mommy.
Yeah.
It's catchy enough. All right. Thanks, producers. We appreciate you guys joining us on another week's episode. And we'll see you on the next one, which will actually Long Beach coming up. So see a lot of you guys there. Have a good one. Thanks so much for listening. Hopefully that was informative. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications if you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy all the stuff we're putting out, it's really helpful. We love to just be able to see it. That means that we're doing a good job. To subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and hit the like button. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.